Now, I realize the importance of education because that's what my mom taught me. From birth, she said, Chris, education will teach you who to be. Indeed, that's why she chose to name me my name, Christopher Samuel C. Christopher. He who brings a good message, Samuel, a great prophet who led the people to freedom and see, my namesake meaning gratitude. And that's why from the time I could talk, I've walked to live up to my name. To spread a good message and never be ashamed to stand up, to speak out against all that seemed unjust, unfair, and hateful. And always remember to stay grateful, Mom said. Education is the reason why my mom never paid for cable TV, but gladly paid every time I incurred a library fine. She just called it a deposit on my education. Education is the reason why my mom instituted at home the following: Mathematics Mondays, World History Wednesdays, Nonfiction Fridays. Education is the reason why my immigrant father always said if I could speak gooder English, I'd be Prime Minister of this country. That's why he always told my brother and I to learn to speak gooder English. The best things in life are free, he'd say. And here, in Canada, the education is free, so it's the best thing in life. Now, back then I didn't get it. But now I'm inclined to agree. See, it took me 4 years to get a high school diploma, another 4 to get a university degree, some sheets of paper that say I'm quality, ignorance-free, so hire me. Never much of a problem, all those back-to-school shopping sprees and extracurricular activity fees. Geez, see, for us it's so easy, this education game. But I've traveled the world over, and for the world it's not the same. There are people affected, faces and names. How do you tell a mother to choose between a sister and a brother? Which one goes to school today and which one stays home? How do you tell a father to choose between his son or his daughter? Who will walk 5 kilometers to class on an empty stomach? Bare feet blistering on hot sand, braving the beating sun, bombarding their backs, sit in a sweltering concrete room with other sweating bodies and watch a teacher instruct with no pencils and no books. When there's water to be fetched and supper to be cooked, looks bleak, don't it? When there's a drought and a famine on the horizon, you hold your baby daughter, gaze on the horizon, want to invest in the future, but know you need to be concerned with the present. See, for most of us, we can say we didn't know, because we've only been told but never been shown. Watching through HD TV screens of complacency from the comfort of our own homes and the comfort of our own lives, but sometimes we need to get outside our comfort zone, see things with our own eyes. In India, I met a 14-year-old girl named Mira, offered to show me what her life was like. Mira said, I wake every morning when the sun first shows its light. I start my day with a prayer and a hike. Mira showed me to a small path near her home, littered with branches and stones, roughshod in the trees, overgrown. There's a long walk down the hill from her home when we finally stopped at this well. So see, this water didn't look so swell. Floating twigs and leaves from the trees that had fell made the water much more dirty as well. And then the smell. Now Mira turned and smiled at us. You see? This is where there's water for us. You see? Every day I come down for water because I'm the eldest daughter. And I can't go to school, but to me, it's not a bother because my sister's sitting in class learning lessons that I never could. I know one day they're gonna change the way we live for the good. Education is the key, so we're not misunderstood. So I'm gonna keep collecting water to get through, so one day my future sons and daughters don't have to. Now I looked at Mira and I said, hey, how many times do you make this same trip each day, the amount? She looked back at me, shrugged her shoulders, said, there's too many to count. I never knew that because of water, kids around the world are missing school. Meanwhile, our own backyards have hot tubs and swimming pools. In Ghana, I saw classrooms crammed full of sweating kids, struggling to see what the teacher was writing on the board. On the veranda, preschoolers sat writing on the sidewalk with chalk. A 3-foot drop down to some sharp rocks. Did they ever fall off? I asked their teacher. Well, they get sleepy because they come with no breakfast. It's hard for them to stay awake, she said. So sometimes they'll fall off. And then we bandage their heads. We have no other choice. We'd have to send them home instead. Imagine this was your son or daughter. And you, the mother or father with no money and little water, less food and more trouble, no hope and all struggle, welcome to life for millions of kids around the world that are girls in the Orient who go to work every day just to earn some petty cash. Boys in Sierra Leone with AK-47s forced in their hands, forced to grow up pretty fast. Kids in India with no access to education because they belong to the lowest caste. Canadian kids, we complain about early wake-up calls, too much homework and quizzes in class. Contrast. Kids in mines choking on gas. Kids in factories making dynamite blasts. Kids with cans, packs, sacks of dynamite strapped to their backs. Hey, Chris, relax. You know you can't change the world in just one day, right? Yeah. I know. But as long as I can do something, I will. You see, I got a good head on my shoulders and a good education in my pocket. If opportunity is the door, education is the key to unlock it. If these kids are gonna make it, we're all gonna help them rock it. But one day, right now, lack of access to education, that's a very real problem that affects people. Faces and names like ours with dreams, though sometimes their dreams don't show. Now we've heard their story. We can't say we didn't know.